Look closely at this image. This isn't just a ripped tent in the snow. It is the scene of one of the most disturbing mysteries of the last century. The police claimed it was an avalanche, but there is a detail they tried to hide. The tent was slashed from the inside out. Welcome to beyond the obvious. To understand the nightmare, we go back to 1959 in Soviet Russia. 9 experienced hikers, young and strong, set off on an expedition to the Ural Mountains. They knew what they were doing. The conditions were harsh, but manageable. It was supposed to be an unforgettable adventure. But on the night of February 2nd, something happened. Something so terrifying that it caused 9 professionals to slash open their own tent and run into the freezing darkness of -30 degrees, without coats, without boots, driven by a desperate need to escape. When rescue teams arrived weeks later, the scene was a horror show. The first bodies were found nearly a mile from the camp. They were in their underwear, desperately trying to crawl back to the tent they had abandoned. But that was just the beginning. The other bodies, found months later in a ravine, told a different story. They didn't die from the cold. They had brutal fractures in their skulls and chests, damage comparable to the impact of a high-speed car crash. However, there were no external marks. No bruises, no cuts on the skin. It was as if they had been crushed by an invisible pressure. And this is where we enter the territory of beyond the obvious. One of the hikers, Lyudmila Dubinina, was found missing her eyes and her tongue. It wasn't animal activity. It looked surgical or inexplicably strange. What happened on that mountain? Witnesses and other hiking groups reported seeing glowing orange orbs in the sky that very night, lights that moved intelligently. And there is one more detail the official files tried to erase. The hikers' clothing contained high levels of radiation. Why would there be radiation in the middle of nowhere? On an isolated mountain, a secret military test gone wrong, an attack by a non-human intelligence, or something ancient that woke up in those mountains. The Soviet government closed the case quickly. The official cause of death was recorded as an unknown compelling force. They sealed the files. They banned access to the area for years. But bodies don't lie. They ran from something that night, something science cannot explain. And you? Do you believe the official avalanche story? Or do you think the truth is much darker? Leave your theory in the comments. Subscribe to the channel to explore what lies beyond the obvious.